What's up, Sushi Squad? Today is a day to remember. I finally ended up making this video. I promised you guys this months ago, but oh my god, so much work went into this video. Maybe not necessarily on the editing side of things. It just took a really long time to make this video because basically what this is going to be my top recommended games for VR. So this is going to include games for VR veterans as well as people that are just getting into VR. I'm going to treat each and every single one of these games as if it is your first time seeing it, and I'll do the best of my ability to kind of explain, okay, here's what I think is weird about this game, or here's what I think is good about this game. But you got to keep in mind that VR is impossible to explain. When you play a VR game, you know that you're playing a VR game. You know what the experience is going to be like. And a lot of these games are going to end up looking a lot more appealing to you if you have some form of experience with virtual reality. The thing is, I've played probably like over 100 different VR games. A lot of them are kind of crap. But what we're going to be focusing on today, oddly enough, despite the fact that I've played so many different games, why is the video so long? Because I'm playing 40 different VR games in this video. And I recommend every single one of them in one way, shape, or form. Some of them obviously more than others, as you'll see as we go along the video. Because basically what I did with this video is I took the games that I played the least and I started playing those all the way up to the games that I play the most. So you'll notice that early on in the video, some of the games might end up, I might not have that much to say about them, or I might just kind of skim over like, oh yeah, this one's good because it's got this feature and that feature, but I haven't really played those games very much. And then the games that I play a lot later in the video are going to end up increasing in quality, experience, and generally I'm going to have a lot more to say on them because it's a difference of, okay, I played this game at the beginning of the video for a couple minutes versus, okay, I played this game at the end of the video for a couple hours. Now, just before we get started with the video, I just want to let you know that I will include timestamps in the description, and if I can fit it into the YouTube description, I will try to put links to where you can obtain all of these games. I mean, generally speaking, these are all going to end up being games on Steam, so at the least, you'll end up having the title of them, so you can end up checking them out. Vanishing Realms is a pretty good game. I've actually played this one quite a bit. It's a bit older, so it doesn't really have like the most going for it in terms of just the gameplay and stuff. Like, it's kind of, well, it's old. Let's just say that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It's a really good kind of starting VR game to get into, and just generally, like, I really enjoy kind of like RPGs like this, and it's kind of got like its whole experience. Why did it drop that? Does it auto drop when I squeeze the grip or something? Oh, I see. Yeah, so it kind of works with the index, but at the same time it seems kind of weird and doesn't. In a lot of ways, this game reminds me of Thief. I know that might not make that much sense. But you can climb around, which is really cool. And Thief kind of had that where you would literally like climb around the environment to end up finding treasure and stuff. And, there's a decent enough combat system and everything like that once you end up getting into it. But I'm sorry I can't give you guys the best example of it just because of the type of game that it is, But generally, this one's a really good time. I highly recommend it if you're into RPGs. It's quite the experience, and they have a lot of like little secrets and stuff like this. It's me! I didn't know I was so angry. And it's got great sound design too. Like, it's all really loud and in my ears and kind of spooky, I really dig it. I've played a little bit further into this game, and, eventually you get, like, the full combat moves, and you get spells and stuff, which is really neat. Seems to be a lot of emeralds in here. And then, as you go further and further into the game, you end up getting, like, access to different abilities and, being able to climb a little bit more and stuff. And climbing's always a good time. Some people end up having a real problem when it comes to climbing, but for me, I just never really had a problem with it, and you can kind of build up your tolerance to VR movement. And I mean, just what this game does, it does really well, and I really enjoy it and highly recommend it. Now, this game is the Solace project, and it's already got, like, look at this intro. This is great. As far as I know, I think that this game has just it's a normal game, but it also just has like either a VR version or VR support. And in one sitting, I ended up beating this whole game. Not because it's necessarily that short, just because it's that good. Like, I love sci-fi and I love exploration. And let me tell you, this game ends up really just being addicting and being really, really good. The presentation of everything looks great. It's got some moments way later in the game that are absolutely horrifying, because it's kind of one of those games where you can't really defend yourself, and the whole experience is kind of a linear progression of environmental puzzles meets, okay, get to this next segment, but in order to get to this next segment, you need this item, and so on and so forth. Ugh. Right. Oh my god. Oh, this takes me back, dude. This is so... Ooh, I think this is a spooky part, too. Yeah, because you end up going into the caves and stuff in this alien planet, and it's just so weird and messed up, dude. Oh, Jesus. The atmosphere is great, though. There's one moment, which is, like, so far my absolute favorite, where there's, like, these little, very tiny little creatures, but they can only move when you're not looking at them. And it really just... Oh god, it was so freaky, because, I mean, you can already hear with the music and everything. Wait, something moved up there. Oh my god. Man, no wonder I was so addicted to this game. I can hear all these sounds around me, dude. It's freaking me out. God, this game is good. So I think the point was that we saw that dude up ahead, but we're not going to see him now. The only thing you ever end up seeing in this game is usually creatures that want to kill you. So, continue searching for the end of the cable. Okay. Which direction did it go? Oh boy. I don't remember how to play this game is the only problem. Oh god, my battery has a percentage? Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Well, as much as I would love to keep going, I'm very out of my depth right now because I don't remember the controls or anything, guys. So this is Undead development, and low-key, I kind of wish that I put more time into this game because it is like so cool, because it's just got like all these weird mechanics where you can literally like hammer anything to anything, and you can kind of build your own weapons and stuff, and it's just it's really cool. It's kind of a zombie defense type game. So let me actually show you guys this just in a normal level. The point is we're trying to survive while also dealing with zombies and stuff. Whoops. Now it's hammered to the ground. Great. Oh no. Because I'm pretty sure you can, like, destroy things. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I knew I had to use, like, the back of the hammer. And then I can, like, block the doors. Yeah, here we go, dude. I'm getting the hang of it, kind of. There we go. There we go. I love that. I love the fact that we can hammer everything. Oh, can we not hammer two things? I guess maybe not. I don't know. But anyways, the point is you can like destroy all sorts of things. Well, maybe not that. All sorts of things in the environment. There's another gun. Here, let me show you guys this. Get out of the way. Okay. So if I put this down... wait, can I... There we go. Yeah! So you can literally like hammer guns together. Let me do that right now, actually. Yeah, dude. Here we go. I don't know why you would ever want to do that, but... Oh, I can't leave the house now that the waves have started. I see. It's wave defense. Boy. So you're supposed to fortify and like build up all the walls and stuff, but it's like, who cares, dude? Is there more? Hello, zombies? I'm sniping them. God, I'm good. My only wish would be that this game was multiplayer, which I don't think that it is. Can I shoot and destroy? Yeah. Oh god. Well, they're gonna take too long. Too long for this video. Either way, I still recommend this one because it's a pretty good one, especially if you don't really have your VR legs, because it's not really like super duper intense, as you can see. Now this game is Nevrosa. They actually have a couple of these, or at least a couple of them being worked on, and these are, oh, these are such good games, dude. They're hard, but they're really good. They also have like very, very weird environmental puzzles. How do I do this? And not to mention all these objects actually having 3D models, which is crazy. But very freaky and weird. These are kind of what they call room scale games. Can I not? How do I actually go to the level? I'm pretty sure I actually beat this game. Yeah! Okay, so this is the entire playing field. You got this portal here that eventually we end up opening. A bunch of hints and whatever else. The trick is that, as you saw, it's kind of room scale, so you don't really get to navigate the environment too much. Whoa. So I took the cube, which was probably a bad thing. I don't know if you're supposed to collect all of these or if that's literally about the exit of the level. You can see another one's there. But it's a puzzle game, so it's actually really good, dude. Can I... I don't know whether or not this is me, like, trying to leave the level or I need power. Oh, there we go. I didn't know I could pick that up. God, it's been so long since I played this. Ah, there we go. I'm sorry, little guy. So, the sheep? Is that a sheep? Is that supposed to be a sheep? No, that's a ram. Llama. Can I hit this button? I can't because... my green screen! Damn it! Okay, well, I guess you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it. It's a really good game, it really is, because it's got like freaky creatures and stuff, and it's a really, really good escape room type of game. It's just, I currently don't have the room to be able to show you guys all of it. And honestly, at the end of the day, if I show you any of this, it would kind of just be spoiling it, but okay. I know that that's kind of a lame excuse, but whatever. This one's called Sweet Escape, and I actually really like this one. It's a game literally all about climbing. And I remember, I have a lot of fond memories with this one because I actually took Mariko to a VR arcade for one of our really, really early dates. And it kind of ended up selling us both on the whole idea of VR and stuff. I mean, I had a VR myself, but I didn't have this game. We'll just do free climb just on a level so I can just kind of show you this. Ghosts is because you literally, it's like a time trial and the whole game is about going as fast as you can. It does also have multiplayer as well. Ooh. So you can kind of play with other people. The other thing too is you can literally like hurl yourself. So I'm no good at it right now. But, and that's kind of a checkpoint that I just grabbed right there. So checkpoint means that we won't, you know, if we die or fall off or whatever, we can end up coming back. This is a really good kind of starting VR game. Whoops. And kind of gets you, well, it's not really a good starting VR game, I guess, if you get nauseous. But, I mean, you see, I did a terrible time But there is literally nothing else to explain about this one. Like, it's a good game. I do recommend it, but it's kind of like if you're looking for a more intense VR experience, there are other options for climbing games. It's just this one kind of looks really good. So this one is called Cyube VR, Cyube, and basically is going to end up being a VR Minecraft game. You can play Minecraft in VR, but the point is that this is an actual VR game. Unfortunately, their tutorial is literally just big walls of text, so we'll just ignore that and hopefully be okay. It does seem that it has mods and stuff, though, so that's pretty darn cool. Ooh. Ah, yes. I've got proper tracking as well. So I will actually take that myself. How do I eat it? How do I eat all of this block? Where's my belt? Where's my inventory? Oh, there's my inventory. Can I just... There we go. There we go. Ugh, okay. So now I have those, I guess. Well, I can teleport around as well. Ugh. Is this cave just that freaking dark? Oh yeah, it's just that dark. Okay. Oh, there we go. Ah, I don't want to drop them. No. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. Oh, hey, there we go. I didn't even know I had an arrow or a bow and arrow, but whatever. You know what? I'll take it. I've built a house before. I swear to God, guys. Don't worry. I know I seem really bad at video games, but that's because I kind of am. Die! Okay, now you gotta buy this game. That's so worth it. Oh my god. I don't even know how I ended up getting this bow on my inventory, dude. You know what? Whatever. We're just gonna chill. I could read through logs of text to end up learning the tutorial and figuring out how this game works. But take it from me, I did build a house before. It sucked, but I did build a house, I swear to God. Screw it, man. Just play Minecraft VR, okay? Because then at least it's a lot easier to get into. You can customize all sorts of things. Mods do work with Vivecraft or whatever the heck they call it. And you can play on servers. Like this is my server that I've been playing on with my friends. And oh my god, they've been building so much without me. And there's Joe's bees. Either way, I mean, it's literally Minecraft, but in VR. And then the best part about it, is that at any point, you can just load up Minecraft VR, but without VR. So you can just hop into the same world, because it's literally just a mod for Minecraft, right? Or maybe it's a plugin. Is it a plugin where it doesn't affect the game whether you have it installed or not? Kind of thing. Other players will have to install Vivecraft non-VR in order to see me like animating as I am, but in VR. But you are perfectly capable of playing this game where I would be in VR and other players wouldn't have the mod to be able to see me animate properly. I've tested it out, so you can literally play like any other Minecraft server, so long as you don't get banned, in VR, which is pretty cool, but you are definitely at a disadvantage over normal Minecraft. It's just really cool. So here's another one called Tengutana, I think that's what it's called. And this one Mariko and I played a lot for a while. It's a puzzle game, but you got like these katanas and you can throw ninja stars, and it's actually got like some good physics to it and stuff. Oh, I see. There we go. So that's how we enable the swords, and then we can bop them together. Unfortunately, you can see it doesn't really work with the index. I mean, it does work, but the point is you can enable the sword and cut through things. And it's a puzzle game because what you're basically trying to do all the time is get the orb to end up going into the hole. And it gets steadily, like, way more complicated the further you get. But it's such a simple concept executed very, very well. Whoops. Hold grip to push. Okay.
Your choice.
Can I not? There we go. There we go. Yeah, that totally worked, right? So this one's called Affected the Manor and is a horror game. And let me tell you, I normally cannot stand horror games. Like, I actually really, really hate them and think that they're stupid. I don't know. Just generally, I don't really get scared by horror games, right? But this game, I mean, when it comes to VR horror games, ooh, I love VR horror games. I don't know why I'm so slow. Sweet Jesus. But this one, if I'm not mistaken, I think I played this one. Like, horror VR games are great in crowds. I guess I shouldn't say that. But when you have, like, friends over and stuff, because then they can just watch you, like, be an idiot. So that's, I think that's just the normal manner, and then that's, like, a different area? Is that new? Maybe? Well, we'll ignore that because it's got weird clown faces, and we'll try to just go, yeah, for the normal manner. Maybe we should go for the gauntlet. I mean, the normal game's really cool, too, but I'm kind of curious because clowns... This could be a mistake. Oh, Jesus. This could be a big mistake, especially with it being called the gauntlet. It might literally just be a gauntlet of scares or something stupid. Instructions. Push forward on the thumbstick to accelerate. The longer you hold, the faster you go. Your speed and the amount you scream will be rated. So it's detecting my might? Okay. So I have to be as fast as possible or something? Oh god, it changed me back to smooth turning and stuff, and I... Oh! I can't see anything, dude. Yes. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. What is this? Oh, God. Ah! No, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this is cool. This is a lot better than I thought it would be. Oh, God. How do I... Is it controller movement, or is it based on where my head is? I can't tell. Oh, gee. I think I was supposed to duck that, but whatever. Oh, God, I can still barely see. Ah! Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah. Oh, oh, fuck! Oh, God, yeah. I don't think I've ever... Oh, gee. I don't think I've ever had this much fun playing a horror game. Oh, my God, it's exhilarating because I'm already going fast. Oh, jeez. In the first place. So I know I can't die and nothing's gonna, like, actually hurt me, but it's just jump scares, you know? Oh, God. Ah! Oh, geez. It's a fridge, for Christ's sake! Oh, no. It's like it. Which door do you pick? Which one? Okay. Shut up, baby kid! Stop laughing! Oh, jeez. Oh, what the... Okay. Oh, God. I'm gonna have a heart attack and die. Oh, my God. And it just keeps going, too. Like, it's a generated... Like, how long does this happen? It seems like it's random generated, so it's gonna be... Oh, God, weird baby thing. It's gonna be different every time, right? Oh, 2 minutes left. Huh? Oh. Is it 2 minutes? No, I think it's just gauging, like, how much time I've taken total. I hope am I almost done? Am I about to win? Yeah! We're gonna win. Yeah! So long, suckers.
So I was a swift ace. Jesus Christ! You stupid... Holy crap, that's good. So this one's called Virtually Impossible, and I wish that we weren't living in a pandemic, because this is such a good game. So you can play up to 4 people, and I'd say it's very much like, it's kind of like WarioWare, but in VR, you know? Hand Connor, left and right, okay. I think you only need one hand to drive, but... Oh. But it's kind of got like this base game where you're trying to drive... Oh god. It's so fast, it's fun. You're trying to drive down here without hitting any objects. And then you get hit with a mini game. I'm probably gonna fail this one because of it being room tracking, and I don't have the space for this. Or it's just going to glitch out. Hello? Okay, well, it says I failed. Will it bring me back? Yes, it did. Okay. Thank you, stupid game. Anyway, the point is, so I failed the game, right? So I lose some score. You can only lose so many games. This one I always fail at, if it even loads. Like, is this game dead or something? Hello? Oh. I always fail. Like, I don't know why. This one I just always fail at. But the point is, it's a party game, so the more times you fail, you lose too many times, and then eventually it's just game over. And if you hit too many things along the road here, it kind of dials back your time, because the whole point is you're trying to get as far as you can down the main road, while scoring your time against like the other people. Okay, this game seems to be busted, unfortunately. I don't know if it needs a patch or if... Normally I'm paddling through the water, but... So this one is called Floor Plan. I'll start a new file just so I can show you guys. And this one, oh man, this is such a good game. I ended up beating this one with Mariko as well. And the point is that it's kind of a room scale game. The entire game takes place in this elevator. And I used to love games like this when, you know, growing up as a kid. So it's kind of like an escape room type of thing. But it's like each of the floors is all connected, and you're trying to end up getting your full spacesuit so that you can end up getting out of here. The trick is that in order to end up getting different parts of your suit, you gotta end up going to different floors. So now we actually have the mug, which is an item we can store, and then we can go to a bunch of other floors now, and what we're gonna do is try to find, okay, what needs the mug? You know, like what needs this item, what needs that item. And eventually it has like cool stuff where it's like you'll have like a beanstalk grow out of the graveyard, but first you gotta get the key, and then the beanstalk will grow up to all of the other floors on top of it, and so on and so forth. I don't know if the beanstalk grows here, but I just want to give you guys a quick example of what it is and what you can expect. Yeah, because then we get coffee in this, and I pour it on him. And he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it because it's too hot. So the point is that we gotta like get the coffee. You can see the next floor. The next floor is actually going to end up having some ice on it. So we can use this to cool it off. But in order to do that, we have to like, I don't know, melt the ice with this. Nope, that just threw it. Okay. Anyways, you kind of get the idea. Like, there's all sorts of different things that you can end up doing, and it's a really good game. I highly recommend it. It's very, very short, but it is a good experience. I think technically you can use a controller as well. You don't have to use the VR controllers, but it is a VR game, and it's really good. And this game's called Climbey. Hello. You can set up whether you're using a camera or whether you guys would be seeing me in the first person. I'm trying to remember how to actually move Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's kind of weird because I don't think I ever played this with the index controllers, despite the fact that it supports it. It's got a level editor, which is really cool. And outside of the fact that it looks really ugly, it does mean that, you know, you can end up playing this game on like super custom levels and stuff and the settings and blah, blah, blah. We'll actually just hop into a level so I can show you. The coolest thing about it is that it actually supports multiplayer. So you can play this game with your friends, and you can like grab each other's hands. You can grab onto each other's backpacks, and it's really like unfortunately I don't have any friends to play this game with. Sorry, I gotta try and. Okay, I messed that up. Controls are a little bit weird. Ah, damn it. Yeah. But it like I almost wish that I could play it with my friends. I just never got the chance to. But this is probably one of the better VR climbing games. It's just I'm like terrible at it right now, but I was like actually really good at it. Like you can even kind of cheat and grab up top, but the problem is that if I try to do something like that, I'm probably going to end up slamming into my ceiling like in real life. The jumping takes a little bit to get used to. But basically what I'm doing is kind of like long hopping like Mario. So I grab, pull myself back, and then launch myself forward. And I can only best describe it as like doing a Mario jump. Kind of like a Mario long jump. I really like this one. I remember I've played like a lot of it. So, you know, I would be climbing and then end up going all the way over there. And there's checkpoints that you can set down per level and stuff. And it's a good one. There's not much else to really explain about it. Other than, you know, the fact that it has custom levels is cool. It is ugly. But that's kind of the trade-off, you know. So this one is called VR Furballs. VR Furballs Demolition. And you can see we've already played quite a bit of it. It's actually Angry Birds. Mariko really was into Angry Birds, so I kind of got this game for her. And it was a lot of fun to end up watching her play. I'm trying to remember the controls. So let's do destroy his environment. Then we'll do another shot there. And he doesn't seem to be falling over. But I mean, it's fun. It's cool. Oh, I could have hit the bowling balls and then made those fall on him. Well, you know what? We'll do it on just this one guy then. Bonk. Great game. Now, this is VR Superhot. If you don't know what Superhot is, do I just do this? Where do I put into my brain? Yes. Ouch. In Superhot, it's a normal game, but it has a VR version, and it's pretty cool. I don't really have the room scaling for this, so I'll try to be careful. The point is, as you move, the enemies move. And in the normal game, it's kind of a lot better because throwing objects isn't so awkward. But I can cut bullets and... Whoop. Okay, I already died right there. And the point is you can pull off some really crazy combos. I died. It's just I'm not very good at the throwing because it's well, that seemed to work either way. It's the closest you can get to the Matrix, you know? Oh, but I mean, it's super hot. And it's really cool. You can pull off some badass combos and stuff, but unfortunately, I can't record it properly because I have like my green screens right here, and I just don't have the space. Normally, when I'm not recording, though, I do have the space, and it's a really good time. So this is Megaton Rainfall, obviously. This game is... It's kind of 50-50. It's a game that I highly recommend because there's nothing else quite like it, but it doesn't perform as well as you would hope that it would. Most of all because of the fact that it technically it's a mouse and keyboard game, and not my favorite on mouse and keyboard, because the entirety of the game is about saving cities from aliens by shooting, like, they're really, really, really tiny. There it is. Really tiny spots on them. I'll kind of show you guys in a sec. But it sucks because the destruction is the funnest part. And ironically, the point is that you don't want to destroy the city. So you're fighting these aliens, and if you cause too much damage to the city, or if the aliens cause too much damage to the city, it's game over. And the funny thing is that in order to end up getting more and more power-ups, you have to save more and more cities. But the point is that more and more of your abilities, as you can see, have more destructive capability. So it's kind of like, okay, this is weird. And it sucks because it's such a good game, you know? Like look at this. I'm so far into the game that I actually have the ability to, like, go into outer space. And it's like, I just wish that there was kind of a sandbox mode where I could just screw around and blow everything up. Because there's truly nothing like it, and this game literally makes you feel like Goku. That one's one of the more useful abilities. I just forget how to do it. Hold grip. Ah, yes! That's how I go faster! I knew there was a way to do it. And it's just, oh my god, it's so good. Like, I love it. The environment and everything kind of looks like really, really blurry. But that's got to do with the fact that it's all destructible, right? So, anyways, here's like a city. So we can end up going all the way down. And you can see, like, we're just this god amongst these babies. Like Goku, dude, or Vegeta, you know? And it's just, there's nothing else like it. Like, I love it. But at the same time, there's barely any, like, if I destroy too much of the city, I'm gonna get a game over. You can kind of see the bar. Can you guys see that? Yeah, so the bar in the middle of the screen. Oh, that's way more annoying on the monitor. But that green bar is basically like too much destruction. Oh my god, it's a clipping mic. That's hilarious. Okay. Yes! Yes! I got a game over, but it was worth it! It was worth it! Oh my god, I wish that the game was about destroying things. Try not to exterminate the humans. Like, man. I mean, I guess I can always go to the moon. And yes, you can fly to the sun. Look at this. See, isn't it so cool? And now I'm on the moon. Could you imagine a game like this with a little bit more, well, maybe a little bit more in the production department, but it was like a Dragon Ball game? Like, oh my god. So this game's called Takelings. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone else to show this off for you guys, but let's actually, I load up a party here. You can play this with controllers. The point of this game is it's kind of one of those, like, random, like the little guys versus the VR players. So the goal is that you're this little guy that you can see over on the bottom right, and you're kind of trying to hide in the environment, pick up power-ups. You know, like that gives you super speed and everything like that. You can get hearts and points and junk. And everybody's kind of got like a shared amount of health and everything. But if I put the controller down just to show you guys the example, then the VR player, which I actually see from this character's perspective, and I can grab these little guys and I can, like, put them into these different parts of the environment. You know, put the power bar on and just microwave the little shrimp. it's such a fun game. Like, I really highly recommend this one if you can end up getting a couple people to play locally, or if you have, like, I don't know, like your family there or whatever. It's a good one, dude. It really is. Now, this is Spider-Man Far From Home, and the crazy thing about this game is that it's actually completely free. And oh my god, I love it. It does have a like special mode where you can end up going through the story, but it's like, I don't really care. There was another free-to-play Spider-Man game that ended up coming out with the first older Spider-Man movie, right? And it was pretty cool, but it didn't really let you do much of anything, whereas this one lets you swing around the city, and I've already got like a video highlighting it, but I just think that it's so cool and wanted to show you guys it again, because it's just, honestly, I wanted an excuse to play it. So the cool thing too is that with the index you have individual finger tracking, so you have to do the Spider-Man pose with your hands in order in order to end up shotting your web. Oh, I love this game. Oh, I really, really do. Oh god. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm bad at it. Oh god. It's not the best in terms of like its physics or anything, but it does get the job done very, very well. This game's called Rec Room, and it is very, very similar to VRChat. Most of all, you're gonna run into a lot of little kids, but I really like this one. I played it a lot, and it more so, I guess I would say it's very, this is kind of like VR Roblox. I never made videos on this game, but I always thought it was fun, just because it kind of like, oh god, official starter pack offer. Like, see, go away. I've only ever messed around in this room, but there's like quests and card games, and you can do lots of fun stuff. Most of all, I just enjoy it because of the social aspect and role playing with people and stuff. But I don't want to. That man is slapping that other kid. I don't want to draw too much attention to myself because I'm sneaking right now. But you can get like levels and stuff. There's also different clothing options that you can slowly unlock and earn and everything. And again, it's very, very similar to Roblox. Like, it's got some custom game modes and everything. And it's good. It's free. So play it if you got VR. You're going to love it. This game, as you can kind of tell by these borders, is really, really old. We'll kind of play through a bit of the tutorial just because I don't remember how to play this, but I had played a lot of it. Oh, there we go. The screen fixed itself. Okay, good. I guess it was just the main menu. But the quickest, easiest way I could explain this game to you guys is it's basically VR Metal Gear, so it's kind of a stealth action game. And it's really good. I guess you could also say a lot, like this game also really reminds me of Perfect Dark. And then I think over here, yeah, they're trying to show us like, there's a turret. Don't let them spot you kind of thing. So you literally got crouched down like in real life, which that's the thing, you know, being in VR. The experience is pretty unique. I want to try and get to like at least a little bit of the gameplay. And then here, literally the same as Metal Gear.
Should be almost completely silent. Try firing around.
Is your silenced knock everything out gun.
Pull the piston back to ready another dart.
Because similar to Metal Gear, I'm assuming anyways, if you get through the game without killing people, you'll get like different rewards and stuff. Let me see if this works. Normally this game detects your mic, so I don't necessarily want to talk.
HQ, do you copy? This is 1-5 Delta. Over. Shit.
Freeze! Okay, that didn't really work. I know I look like an idiot, but you're seriously supposed to be able to tell them freeze. and get them to... I think he heard me like breathing as I was creeping up to him. Freeze! Freeze! You know what? I thought... Freeze! The game doesn't detect my mic. I don't know why. This is Until the Fall. Or Until You Fall. I always call it Until the Fall. I don't know why. God damn, this is a good game. It looks great. It's got the production. It's a roguelike, so I actually really enjoy it. The more you play, basically, you know, you slowly end up unlocking experience and new abilities and new weapons and stuff. It's a really hard game, though, at least for me, because some of the enemies you start fighting later, it literally wants you to put your hand in the right placement to block them and stuff, and it's so cool, but it's really hard. At least for me anyways. Like, I find the enemies come at me way too quick.
We can stop this madness.
Alright, so here's our tutorial, I guess. But oh my god, it's a badass game. So this is blocking this location. And later enemies are coming from so many different angles. Align either weapon with the blue blocking indicator. And of course the enemies later are attacking you so freaking fast.
Attack that creature.
That I have a really hard time blocking them. And then of course you saw I had to hit in those specific angles in order to damage them.
There's no time to wait.
But it's such a good game, dude. Like, I can't believe how good this game is. Eventually you can dash towards enemies to guard break them. I think it actually might be teaching us that right now. There we go. Ah! Haha. Ha! It's such a good game! I've played this game so much, dude. But now here comes the roguelike aspect, where normally you'll get to choose out of different gems that give you different power-ups. And it all feels great, and it's such a good game. Highly recommend this one. The production of it, like, it looks fantastic. Everything feels good. The swordplay is probably some of the best, just because, like, with the enemies being very televised and very scripted, it's just later on, like, you're tasked to do so many things that I always just get overwhelmed. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, you know, the game expects you to grind it over and over so that you get better and better gear and equipment and stuff. I didn't know that this game had multiplayer. I might try to convince one of my buddies to get this then. So you can choose to explore without hostile threats. We're gonna take hostile threats. So this is another one of those games where I've had it and wanted to play it a lot more than I gave. Like, I never got a chance to super duper get into it. But it's actually kind of like a Metroid game, where certain doors will end up being locked to you until you end up getting a certain ability or power-up or item in order to actually access them. I remember playing, like, there was the first of this game, the prequel, if you want to even call it that, because there was the first demo of this game used to be free. I don't know if it's still free or readily available, who knows. But this is one of the games that kind of, like, gave me my VR legs. So I really got used to, like, I played through it so many times because I was just so taken aback at the fact that I was able to be in 0G. And consider it like you can grab everywhere in the environment, you know, you're kind of climbing through everything. But because we're in 0G, we get to have, like, these really cool kind of experiences where we're in a space station. You know, obviously you're eventually, like it said, fighting hostile threats and stuff. And then I think that might actually be, this might be our first navigational item. Yeah, here we go. So now this is the grappling hook, so I can hold it to retract myself in. And already we've got, like, so much more going. So much more to do with this game, you know? The only thing that I wish this game had, which it kind of, like, the enemies that you deal with are kind of robotic. And I wish that they were, ooh, I wish it was aliens, dude. I think that would be so freaking cool. Again, it's a game I wish I had more time to play. Now that I know it actually has multiplayer, though, I'm definitely gonna try and convince my buddy to pick it up. Because I think he'll, like... anyone who wants to, like, really challenge themselves in terms of, like, the VR experience is just gonna find this game to be great, dude. Oh, that's enemies. Okay, this might be a bit freakier than I thought, just because I still can't defend myself, and yet... they're already here? Manual door access disabled. Ah! Okay, I wasn't supposed to do that yet. Oh, unless... is it teaching me about resurrection? Like, did I die and respawn? Oh. Yeah, so now I've got my gun. Which I'm assuming has infinite ammo. This is literally like Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. Man, this is just on easy mode and I almost got my butt kicked. Can I press buttons with... no, I can't. With things in my hands. Wow, dude. Well... fantastic game. I do seriously recommend this one. I will admit I don't have that much experience with it, but it's if you can stomach it, if this is a game that you wouldn't end up getting sick on, it's really good. It's really, really good. This one's called Shadow Uprising. I'll actually load... yeah, maybe I'll load one of the first levels. Hopefully it doesn't... give us too much of a tutorial. You can end up changing your loadout and stuff, and this game is surprisingly cheap. Highly recommended if you can find it on sale, because it's like a very, very arcadey stealth game. But I actually played a lot of this one. I was kind of keeping my eye out on this one for a while, and then eventually it ended up going on sale, and I grabbed it and had a really good time with it. Just because it handles itself very well, like it plays very well. And just the fact that it's so arcadey, you know, like you later on, like you're just grappling from room to room and you're just doing like so many crazy things. The weapons are equipped at your shoulder. Oh, right. So that's where my ninja star is. That's where my bow is. That's where my dagger is. Is that all I have? Do I not have a katana? Or is that what this... no? Maybe I don't have a katana. So, right there... oh, he's about to spot me. So even when you're fighting them, you know... it's not that big of a deal when you're fighting them. The arrows as well, you can kind of shoot and then you see that it emits a sound. So you can use that to distract the enemies. If you're ever in any of these things, it literally makes us invisible to them. And then we can kind of see all the enemies are highlighted in red so we can see them in the environment. And yeah, I know I say this a lot with a lot of these games. Probably it's a very big catchphrase, but I mean, this is definitely highlighting, like, see, you can see them through the wall now. My favorite VR games, and this is definitely one of them. Like, okay, so that's actually the melee weapon, this little dagger. Because it won't let me throw it, it just disappears. So that's when you end up getting up close and personal. But yeah, not much more to actually show about this one, because it kind of just repeats the formula the further you get, and you end up getting more weapons and stuff. But this one's good. I remember like playing a lot of this one when I first got it. And this is Windlands 2. Wait, this game's got multiplayer? I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I mean, I already recommend this game in general, but Now that I know it actually has multiplayer, I super duper recommend this one. This one's so good. I played the first one a long time ago, and it's kind of the closest you'll get to like a Spider-Man, but as like a full game. So it's kind of like the game itself has like these grappling hooks. But yeah, this one's really fun. A lot of the bosses and enemies you fight are going to end up actually being really difficult. Like, I remember getting to a boss, and you're literally like grappling in the air and shooting down at it at the same time, and it's really exhilarating and cool. Ah, there we go.
Swing across the gap ahead. Use your left and right hook alternatively for best results.
Can this guy shut up? Okay, so now he's gonna teach me the shooting, which thankfully has a crosshair, because otherwise I'm so, like, I used to be really good at bows in games. Now I'm actually terrible. Oh man, I did not know that this was multiplayer. Like, I guess that's a thing because it's the sequel. He kind of looks like a Roblox character. It's a little jank, but I will. Don't worry, bro. But I'm assuming this game gets a lot more intense. Like, I haven't played super duper far into it, but okay. Ugh. But if this is any indication, because this is awesome, and he's gonna destroy me. Anyways, yeah, that's Windlands. The first game's good. Second one's better. This game's called Knockout League. And oh my god, it's basically Punchout in VR. Oh, never mind. I can't. Ah, dang it. I can't really play this one because of my play space. Oh god. Can I adjust it? I can't turn it, but at least I can adjust it to here. Okay. So I can show you guys at least. So left punch, blue bag, right punch, red bag. Block the ball or the whatever multi-ball, and then dodge the red ones. Let's just do quick play, easy. I don't care. I like this one a lot. Whoops. So it kind of teaches you the game, but also gives you like good reaction time. And I was surprised. Oops, that was a block. I was surprised that the first time I played this, whoops, I ended up actually breaking a sweat. I guess because it's kind of just aerobics, right? And then you can kind of just get more and more the hang of it. I'm not used to the blocking at all. But then there's like the normal game itself. Like, this isn't even the normal game. This is just one of the practice rounds. There's a lot of things that you can end up, a lot of different game modes that you can end up playing. I just like this one as a immediate like jump into from time to time. Because it uses your brain as well as your reflexes, and it's actually quite effective. And then the real game itself, you know, you're actually like fighting some pretty effective opponents. And well, anyways, do I really need to play it longer than this to sell you guys on it? If you want a good punching VR game, this is a really good arcadey punching VR game. And this one is called Vox Machina or Machinae or something. This one is like multiplayer exclusive. You can play it with bots, which is nice. This one I highly recommend if you're into like Mech Warrior and kind of simulation battle games. Because this one is like insane. The fact that you're playing it in VR, right? It's best played sitting down, of course. But we're in VR and we have access to, like, you know, that's our radar so we can see the map. This is kind of navigating our jump boosts. This is navigating our speed so we can set it to 4 and then just leave it. This is our pitch. This would be to talk to other players in the match. And then this is kind of just the team score, so you can always put that in your face if you really want to. Honk your horns. Right trigger is that. Left trigger is that. Where is... Yeah, there we go. So this is the sniping vision. So you can kind of navigate this with the right joystick. It kind of... like, it manages to be very competitive and cool while also being like kind of a fully functional mech fighting VR game type of thing. So if I stop right here, I can bring up my sniper vision and see that guy's one of our guys. That's an enemy, but I don't have the best weapons to fight him at long range just because of the type of mech that I am. So let's just see if we can fly in and get in here. There's one mech that's like melee. This one that we are is kind of a big bruiser mech. But it's cool because it's kind of like driving a tank, except it's a mech. And it could be really neat if you're playing it multiplayer against other people. But I'm just way too intimidated to do it because I think everyone would be like a pro. And then at any point we can always eject, which I just think is awesome. And I mean, yeah, that's... there's nothing quite like this one. And this one is called Raw Data. And the style of it kind of really reminds me of like Warframe or something. But it's actually a wave defense game. It does... Really, it only goes up to 2-player. Huh. I thought it went up to more than that, but I guess, well, I'm wrong. It's got a couple different classes, and you'll end up unlocking different abilities for those characters. So this guy's kind of just dual pistol dedicated character. This chick has a sword, which the sword play is actually a lot of fun because you can block and deflect shots from enemies and stuff, and it's really neat. This guy's got the shotgun, and then this guy's got the bow. I don't have that much experience with them. Most of all, I always played this guy. It kind of forces you to use each character just because each of them has their own respective weapon. So, for example, you can't use a different pistol on, you can't use a different pistol on this chick who's actually using the sword kind of thing. But I'm gonna end up actually launching mission 1 and will actually be the sword chick, just because I think that the sword play is really, really cool. The other thing that's pretty cool too, whoops, is when your hand is near your two-handed weapons, it'll just kind of auto grab it, which is pretty neat. Gives you a little bit more stability to how the blade ends up working instead of doing it like with one hand, which is perfectly fine. And the sword's pretty neat too because you can actually like cut off limbs and stuff like that. It's not the most complex in terms of a VR game, but it is still really cool. I will face you, fool. I think our sword gets like charged when we have it in two hands too, so it does more damage or something. But I can't seem to use the right joystick. Yeah, see, it's not electric, and now it's electrified. Ha! Done. Use ultimates. So you can do like that, and then we get to levitate, slam down. That's one of our abilities. Once again, another game where if you're playing as a melee character, you gotta be careful of stuff in the environment. But they really want you to spam your abilities too. It does lots of damage. There's lots of screen clearing. I guess that's why you would only be able to play this with 2 people, right? And then the thing is, the different enemy types that you end up fighting further on is really neat too. It actually gets quite scary because there's like stealth enemies and they hide in the dark and everything, and it's really neat. So this is another, where am I? This is another horror game. This one's called Don't Knock Twice. I ended up actually doing, I don't know if I did a series or a video, a couple videos on it. This was what kind of sold me. Hello? This is what kind of sold me on VR horror games actually being like really, really fun, just because they're so much more scary. And it just overall is like such a good game, you know? Don't worry guys, that's not your phone, that's part of the game. Whoa. But yeah, this game's great, dude. Like I remember, why do I reach like a killer? I'm gonna text you back, Margaret. Again, it's like, how do I highlight that it's a good horror game other than just saying it's good? Because, it kind of is an older VR game, but it does have some really good, genuine scares. that I don't think would really work outside of VR. Like, I remember there was one part that really freaked me out where there's like this little creature crawls up your leg. And the funny thing is that I remember distinctly, like back when I recorded my full playthrough of this game, the footage didn't really show that weird little creature, just because it was just outside of the peripherals of what, like what you guys can see right now versus what I see in VR. I kind of have my peripherals fully taken up, but this is definitely a game if you're into horror games, especially horror VR. Like, I love them. Oh, cool. This one actually has index support. I'm surprised. It's been years since I ended up playing this game. Close help. Yes, thank you. This is... what the heck is this one called? It's got a weird title. Dungeons and Treasures VR. This one's really neat because it's kind of a love child of like only a couple people that ended up making this game. And it's really good because it's single player. It has multiplayer as well. And it's a really like genuinely good roguelike game where you're slowly unlocking more and more weapons to give you more and more of an edge the further you go. And I remember it was so cool because this was like way back. And then these guys ended up giving me a key to the game. And then they actually ended up watching the video and being like really supportive and stuff. So that's always good when I have an experience like that with some devs. The fact that it's a roguelike means that it's going to be random generated. And going to generally be really hard because the point of roguelikes is usually you get a little further, you die, you bring a bunch of gold or XP back to level up, and then you get a little bit further again. So there's multiple items around me because of the fact that this actually goes up to 4 people. I don't know what you guys see. Oh, I see. So you guys are seeing... do you see the map when I look down at it? Yeah, you are. Okay. It's kind of weird because my health bar seems to be off screen, so this isn't the best game for recording, I guess. But I love how fast-paced it is, dude. And, you know, navigating it is really easy. You kind of unlock, like, this is actually not only showing us the map, but it's also giving us a fast travel point. So we can use this to teleport to the other fast travel point once we've actually unlocked it. So that's kind of neat. Trying to find an enemy here so I can show you guys what this is. Oh, okay, so this is the merchant. So he'll actually sell stuff for a bunch of gold. We don't have any gold, so it doesn't matter. So the thing is, this game might seem a little slow paced, but that's because you can get overwhelmed very easily. I think in this case, this magic guy he was buffing them. Ranged, I would say, is probably the most OP. You're not really doing as much damage as if you get up close and attack them like that, but it kind of adds up. And right there, we just ended up getting a buff to our character. So, okay, we got a stronger enemy here. But very simple, you know, you can block certain projectiles, not all of them. And if you're just careful about it, you can kind of end up using different classes and what have you. I'm already almost dead. Like, I literally have 1 hit, so... can I grab this? Do I gotta walk into it? Oh, there, I had to grab it with my other hand. Well, either way, it's a really cool game. I highly recommend it, especially if you have friends. Like, I played through this game a couple times just myself. This is Dead Effect 2. I honestly didn't even know there was a first one. I think that this game is great. I remember this was one of my early VR games, and I was completely blown away by it. Another one where I played it a bit, but I didn't play it as much as I would have liked. Because in a lot of ways, it reminds me... where is my cursor? There we go. It reminds me of Doom 3, but kind of a little bit more action. And there's multiple classes that you can choose from that all kind of have their different weapons and stuff. But the crazy thing is that this game kind of has a bit of a loot table. So when you complete levels and stuff, you'll end up getting certain pieces of gear, and they can actually end up being like a rarer tier that ends up making them stronger. So this is actually just the hub area. So you can play through levels, you can repeat levels. As far as I know, this game has multiplayer. I saw that there was a versus mode at the hub screen, but I don't know whether or not we can end up doing co-op in the normal maps. I hope so. I'm trying not to look at this lady. I'm sorry, just because I don't really want to monetize, because for some weird reason, like, it shows her chest. And she looks really weird and freaky, dude. Oh, there it is. That's right. I don't know why I can't turn. It's weird. Anyways, the thing that I thought was so cool about this game when I first started playing it was this was kind of my first VR game where the guns actually, you could pump the shotgun and actually use both hands kind of thing. And it's kind of encouraged as well. I'm not very good at this. This game is a bit dated. You can kind of see, just based on the graphics and stuff, probably, anyways, why I think it looks so much like Doom 3.
I'll try to hack into it. But it might be
Which, funny enough, Doom 3 is actually... Hello, zombies. Doom 3 is going VR on, like... on PlayStation VR or something, which is quite ridiculous. So you can see these enemies actually all have levels. Because the whole point... Oh, lazy reloading, but... I think you can technically grab the ammo off your belt, but I could be wrong. But these zombies have levels and stuff, so the point is that you can repeat levels at higher difficulties to end up getting better loot. But anyways, it's a little janky for what I'm used to right now. Like, obviously I've played a lot of games that are way better than this, but this one's still pretty good, especially if you're kind of just getting into VR. Half-Life Alyx is, I mean, it's kind of the standard VR game. Do I even really need to sell this one? But there's like GoldenEye facility and stuff, because they have, there's mods on this, which is really, really cool. But this is pretty much like the only like true super AAA game. It's very affordable and works on like almost everything. Like Valve always knocks it out of the park with their games, and this game is no exception. I have a full series of this game if you want to see that, if you want to see more. But if you're planning on getting VR or getting this game, then maybe you don't want to go into the spoilers. You know, but I mean, just the way that everything works is great. It feels awesome, especially on the index, which is obviously what it was designed for.
Yeah, that's where they...
And it's a very accessible
Look around for a control panel.
VR game, just because of the way that everything controls. You're going through the game, getting collectibles, slowly upgrading your guns and stuff. It's a linear single-player experience, but it also happens to be one of the most beautiful VR games. And I mean, it makes sense with how many people worked on this game, but you can't go wrong with Half-Life Alyx. Now here's Hot Dog, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, which is actually a really, really good game. Most of all, like, me being Canadian, I always get a kick out of gun games in VR, just because, especially ones like this where it's really, really good. Let's actually just load up the shooting range here. And this is probably the highest, otherwise known as H3, I should say. Probably the highest fidelity gun game there is in VR. Oh god, this stupid joystick is tilting me. So you gotta like actually reload the guns. You can see all the crazy details to them. Bullets landing on the ground and having physics and everything. Pull this out, you can kind of... Oh, well, you can't see in this one, but you can see there's more bullets. Well, one more. You can always pick the bullet up. Put it back in the mag. There's so many things to this game. It's absolutely insane. My only complaint, if you can call it that, is that the controls are kind of... They're not my favorite. I wish they were a little bit more forgiving, because there's basically this bubble and then this bubble. And so you have to grab the gun with those bubbles in order to actually like pull it to you. You can kind of Half-Life Alyx it to yourself, but because the game is not super duper forgiving with the tightness of like the little orbs, it does mean that picking things up can end up being a bit of a chore sometimes, and I just generally am not very good at it. But there's so much to this game. Like, there's so many different guns. So many of them can end up being completely customized. You can actually save the customization of them. Even when you're messing with the scope, you can change its magnification and everything. It's a great game. What can I say? Especially if you're a gun nut. Because there's so many different guns in this game. And I, like, generally, I usually just... I usually just go to the Team Fortress mode and just mess around with the guns, build up guns for like a super long time. How do I do this again? That's the thing. You kind of gotta learn. You gotta learn all the different controls of all the guns and stuff, and it's cool and everything. But oh my god, it's so in depth. It's absolutely insane, dude. I'm so confused on the controls because I've played a couple other VR games that have similar guns, but are a little bit more arcadey. Either way, that's H3. There's so many different weapons that you can mess with. It's absolutely insane. The one thing I'll say too is this is a game where the dev specifically said he's never going to have the game on sale. So when I heard that, I just immediately bought it because then I knew like, oh, okay, well, may as well just grab it. So Beat Saber is probably one of the best rhythm games in VR. Not only are the controls extremely tight and everything, but you can also do... Where the heck are my custom maps? The fact that there's custom levels means that they can be really, really good, or they can be really, really hard and really bad. I'll just kind of show you because, I mean, as soon as you see me play it, you already immediately know what this game is. And everybody who has VR has Beat Saber. I actually got into this game really, really late. Like, I had VR for the longest time, and I don't know why it took me so long to pull the trigger and decide to actually get this. But then when I did, me and Mariko just played it like non-stop for like a solid week. And that's the thing, is this is probably one of, if not the most easily accessible VR games. Like, you see a game like H3 and how complex it is. It's not going to end up being immediately appealing to a more casual audience, but this, you'd throw this at a party and anybody is going to get behind it, especially with the fact that there's the custom songs and stuff. Obviously, there's not like every song in the world, but still, dude. Highly recommend it. Absolutely. It's funny how now, like, basically with all these games, I started playing them in order of what was lowest on my list, which basically meant the games that I played the least up to the most. And now we're starting to get into the really, really good ones, because these are the most recent games that I've played, so they were much higher on the list. Anyways, this is Gorn, which I'll warn you that there is a very, very good chance that you're gonna hit someone, hit the environment. This is probably one of the worst games for it. It taught me very, very quickly to be careful of my environment, because I remember like I slammed one of the controllers on the ground. This was long before I had the index controllers. This was when I had the Vive. This game doesn't have like individual finger tracking or anything for the index, which I guess who cares? I haven't really talked about that in any of the other games.
Take up your weapon and salute.
But once you, like, the more bosses you beat, the more items you end up unlocking and kind of having like more customization. And this game's like really arcadey with the way that it works, which is what makes it so fun. So I'll kind of show you guys just, you know, we're just in a custom mode, so these guys are going to fight each other. There also, you might have saw behind me personally, there was a party mode. So you can actually have somebody else playing on a controller and they'll be controlling one of these guys. So it's kind of like, you know, a way that you can play this kind of multiplayer. But it's very, very violent. There's different control modes, but you can see everything's kind of rubbery and weighty, and it just, you know, there's like the two-handed weapons, and it's really, really dopey and derpy. But that kind of is what makes it so fun. Especially with, like, you know, all the different weapons and the different bosses. Like, you literally will end up fighting a boss that has, like, hedgehogs or something. And he's, like, fighting you with them. Now, this is Boneworks. And, I mean, again, absolutely recommend this one. The only reason it's kind of higher on my list, if you even want to say that, is just because I've played it more recently than Half-Life Alyx, so it was just higher up. But this is just as good as Half-Life Alyx. However, it is an indie game, so it's not 100% perfect and without flaws. But the game itself, like here, I'll load up just the streets. The thing about this game is I would say that Half-Life Alyx is kind of a more accessible version and obviously is the better game. That's kind of subjective. But Boneworks is just a whole other experience that's very similar in that it's got level progression and stuff. The collectible in Boneworks, though, is ammunition. So in one of the way, way later levels, kind of the only actual boss fight, if you want to call it that, I won't give it any spoilers. But it's kind of like you get to exchange all the ammo that you've accumulated throughout the game. So every bit of ammo that you grab per level, the total amount of ammo that you have when you finish the level, you will keep into the next level. So I don't want to go into too much detail with it, but I'll just say keep that in mind because there is some collectibles after and you can unlock some fun dev tools, which I will actually end up using the utility gun right here. Let's go to the gadgets just so I can show you, like, these are some of the cool things. It took a long freaking time to end up grinding these out, but when you do, they're really, really worth it. Can you get in my hand, please? Because the weird thing about this game is you'll go through the entire game and, you kind of can get like a certain amount of ammo and stuff. But then once you get these bad boys, gathering ammo in some of the levels becomes way more like manageable because we literally have like these climbing claws and it's beautiful. But not necessarily intended for a lot of the levels. Can also pick up objects from like practically anywhere, almost. Put stuff on our backpack. This is a small enough gun so we can put it behind our butt, like in our back pocket. Pistol. So, and one of the coolest things that this game has that I wish more VR games ended up having is because the guns are physical, so they can technically bump into our character. So one of the really annoying things is because technically your character has like a physical shoulder that you're planting these guns on. Sometimes you'll try to aim down the sight, but if you don't tilt your head, it can be difficult because like the gun will get caught on your shoulder or something. Not necessarily with this one, just because, I got like a really good angle on it. But the gunplay feels really good. And the controls and the motion of the character and everything, it's got like full sprinting. You can grab onto things in the environment. You can climb a lot of things as well. You can, pull out the ammo, crank it back in. And one of my favorite things is doing that. And apparently these guys are working on like a new game. So we'll see what happens with that. I guess, you know what? Guess I'll show you guys like at least one enemy. I hope the frame rate isn't like bugging out on you guys, because I know that like it is for me. Like it's kind of wavy and I don't know why that is, because I've got like a really good computer and I didn't deal with that when I did my playthrough of Boneworks. So there's this guy. The thing is, you kind of can feel like John Wick while you're playing this game. There's even like some custom levels and custom guns. I haven't really gotten into any of the mods or anything like that though. But the responsiveness of the game and everything, like it's really, really good. I again, we're kind of at the top of the line games here. So they're all gonna be just fantastic. So this one's Pavlov, obviously. And this is, whoa. Did they, change stuff? Oh no, I see. Create PvP, and then I set it to friends only. That's why. This game is basically like CSGO, but in VR. It's probably one of my favorite in terms of gunplay. There's only one other game that comes even close to this. I mean, obviously H3 is a really good game, just because of the gun fidelity, but this is probably my favorite in terms of how the guns handle, how easy it is to grab them and fight and everything like that, The only complaint that I have with this game is that the bots are kind of dumb. I don't really play it online competitively with other people just because they're way too, they're way too good at it, frankly. So usually I'll play this offline with my friends against some bots and stuff like that. or maybe like a 1v1 in the Gulag, because there is modded levels, as you can see us going to the office. But there's no modded guns. And I know that a lot of people within the Pavlov community don't really like the idea of modded weapons just because of how crazy it would get. But personally, I think it would just be like fantastic, dude. Okay, it's been a hot second since I played this, but that was a bot. I think it would be great to be able to play this against, like, with custom guns. Because for me, as much as I love the guns in this game... Oh god, it's been a hot second since I played, guys, sorry. As much as I love the guns, I feel like there's not enough, or there could be a lot more, you know? So usually in this mode against bots, like, you kind of have infinite ammo, but I'll shoot myself in the head. It shows a kill tracker, too, of what killed you. And I'll show you this. So you can actually open up the shot by pushing in the right joystick. And then you can upgrade the guns. So that is one of my favorite rifles. We can also get a double barrel just because it's funny. And I mean, this game is just like, oh my god, it's so good. Absolutely amazing. The other thing too is the controls are really tight, so you don't gotta push in the joystick to run or anything stupid. You literally like aim down and you'll run, kind of like CSGO. And then if you have your knife out too, you'll end up running as well, kind of having faster movement speed. But you can see the bots just kind of slowly walk, you know what I mean? Whoops, that wasn't a bad guy at all. That was though. Thank you. Thank you, random bot. But I always just like using the single rate of fire. You can use a virtual stock too, which is what I'm using right now. That makes your aim like a lot better. It's one of the settings in the game, because it kind of makes it so that your character like acts like this is tucked into his shoulder. So it's a lot easier to end up getting headshots and stuff. And I would say it's probably the best virtual stock I've experienced in a VR shooting game. Because otherwise, a lot of other games, like other ones that we'll play later on the list, like Contractors, is very, very similar to Pavlov. But I don't like the virtual stock as much. See, like there, if that was a player, I would have died. So at least this way I feel good about myself, right? Same with that. So this is Shooty Fruity. And it's probably a game that you've never heard of. I think I did a video on this game like way, way back. Like this game is old, dude. But this is a good one. This is Mariko's favorite VR game, hands down. Like she loves this one. Get to mess around in here. The whole objective of the game is you're going through the levels and you're kind of earning stars by completing specific objectives. And then you can end up, based on your score, unlocking all the guns, which we already have like literally everything unlocked. There's a couple matches where we haven't fully beaten them, like these levels. Yeah, survive 30 minutes. So that would be survive 30 minutes again. No, thank you. And then, like, basically what I'm saying is we have this game maxed out. The only things that we don't have are, like, really, really hard. But I don't think there's anybody that's played this game as much as we have. I hope I've got a good enough spacing for this, because it's kind of a narrow one where you gotta have, like, a little bit of room to throw your arms around. You got a couple weapons that can end up spawning. Scan groceries. And there you go. That's how you end up getting more points towards unlocking more weapons. The weapons have a limited amount of ammo. And then once they run out, that's it. The levels get more and more complex the further you play, too. Because, like, right now it doesn't matter. We can scan this any direction. But later on, you have to scan the barcode, and you might have to put it in a specific lane. There's different objectives, too. Like, there's a food court level where you're putting, like, synthetic food onto dish trays to unlock your guns and stuff. And you can kind of just keep doing like this and stocking up on your guns because of the fact that you're gonna run out of ammo with them. But again, this is Mariko's absolutely favorite game. This is our health right here. We can shoot our own desk. And I like the fact that there's a crosshair. It makes it a lot easier to manage. Of course, you know, the further you play, you're dealing with tougher and tougher enemies, tankier enemies and stuff. Power up. I'm trying to slowly get enough things here so that I can actually show you guys some of the other guns instead of just this pistol. But, Oh boy, it's a slow process. Especially on this level because we're like so early on, so we don't really get that much points. There, that's what happens when a gun breaks. But it's basically like a wave defense, I guess. And it's really good. It's really good. The announcer lady's like really, really annoying, but we love her at the same time. Like, I can't tell you how many times we've played this and how much time we've sunk into it. Now, Phasmophobia, I mean, I actually had quite a few videos of this game on the channel for a while before we kind of stopped playing it, or more specifically, I stopped recording it. This is probably the scariest multiplayer game that there is. It can be played on mouse and keyboard. Virtual reality is kind of like supported. Honestly, the virtual reality is not that great. It works, and it's fine. It's a good time playing with your friends and stuff, but you can see like the hand location is already kind of messed up. In this version of the game that I'm playing currently, you can adjust the hands, but then when you get into the game and pick anything up, where you're aiming them is messed up, so it's really, really weird. I guess virtual reality is kind of an afterthought for the developer. I think it's like just one guy working on it, though. The one thing I'll say about this game is I have very, very strong VR legs. You know, Horus, like, or whatever the heck the space game that I played a lot earlier. That's literally a virtual reality game where you're in 0G, and I felt nothing. This game, you eventually just get nauseous. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe the frame rate is a little too low, or the refresh rate or something. I don't know. There's something about this game that just makes you feel sick. I'm not sure what it is specifically, but one of the big tips that I can give you guys that I found is so long as I am physically turning in the environment and kind of doing things myself physically, like looking around and stuff, then I find that it isn't as bad. Because as soon as I start using the joystick to rotate my character and stuff, there's just... It's weird to explain because it's kind of like you just feel it over time, or like after you finish playing. The objective of the game is that you, whether you're alone or whether you're with friends or whatever, is you are finding a certain amount of evidence to end up determining which ghost is haunting the house or the level or whatever. I don't want to make this like a full tutorial or anything, but you know, this is for UV, so you can use this on doorways and light switches and stuff to see whether or not, you know, if the ghost touched something, if it touched a door, then you can shine this light on it and you'll see whether or not there's fingerprints left over. And if there's fingerprints, then it means that you have a piece of evidence. That's something confirmed. So that is if the ghost writes in the book, if the temperatures end up getting really, really low, like below 3 Celsius, I think it's Celsius, right? Well, if they end up getting below 3, that's usually freezing temperatures, and you can kind of use all of that to determine what ghost type you're dealing with, because each of the 3 different lines of evidence is going to narrow down your search of what you're dealing with, and they all have different behaviors and everything, and it's really cool, and it's really complicated. Like, you actually, like, once you're good enough, you can kind of guess what ghosts are based on knowing how they behave, and it's really, really neat and horrifying at the same time. So this is Blade and Sorcery, and I'm sure a lot of you have already seen what this game is. This one is pretty much the best in terms of melee combat and just kind of the feel for your character and everything. The one thing that kind of sucks about this game is it runs like ass. You're gonna have to have a pretty beefy computer. Like I'm rocking a 3090. Granted, the 300 series cards have some pretty bad drivers for VR, but I have to run this game on very low settings in order to even have it run at a moderate pace. But I'll just kind of hop in, do a quick round, just because I want an excuse to play it, honestly. But there's all these different, training modes and different enemies that you can end up fighting. It's really cool. You can turn on, they have like a developer thing where you have body collision, so you can literally like stab yourself and everything, and it's really funny. But this is another one of those, similar to Gorn, where if you're not careful, you can really hurt yourself or hurt like somebody around you, so just really be careful. And you can kind of, like, the AI is not bad, it's slowly getting better and better as they end up developing it. but they kind of keep their sword arm at like an angle so you can't hit them. But you have a few advantages, you know. You can use lightning and like fireball and gravity. And the big thing that's so cool about... Where'd my sword go? There we go. Is that you can actually augment your weapons. So now that this has fire, we can actually stab through like leather and armor and stuff, because otherwise you can end up fighting some more powerful enemies that will actually be fully armored, and then there's nothing you can do against them unless you end up using these imbued weapons. And the other cool thing is that being imbued with fire means we can actually stab right into stone. So they kind of have like all these different properties. So now I actually don't have fire on my blade, and you can see that every time I keep going to the leather, it's actually blocking my stab. That's also just because this blade isn't particularly sharp. But you can always use the telekinesis, do weirdo things like this, which is one of my favorite things. And you can generally feel like a badass too, because it's like, even with the dueling sword, you know, like I always like striking a pose, or, you know, fighting with a very specific weapon and seeing if I can end up getting through the entire round with it. And I mean, I'm not very good at this game. Like, I thought I was good at it, and then I saw like what somebody... Oh, I thought I heard an enemy. And then I see people on like the Reddit, and they're just like so good. It's actually embarrassing. But for some reason, everyone else seems to run this game like way better than me, and I don't know why. Like, I've done all the different tips and tricks that people do online and blah, blah, blah. I mean, the coolest thing, if you're not sold on it yet, you'll probably be sold on it now. Because there's mods. And more particularly, there's lightsabers, which is one of my favorite weapons. They're OP as hell, but they're a lot of fun. And you can actually play against modded bots that will use lightsabers themselves, and then if they use force lightning, you have to block it by holding your lightsaber two-handed. And there is dismemberment. I think you can turn it off, but I like the dev tools though, because they let you, you know, have like, like you can imbue your weapons permanently, give yourself infinite mana and stuff. This is actually a mod, so this is actually force lightning. The normal lightning is there, but it's not as intense. But we can also do like this, which is already just something in the vanilla game, let alone the fact that we can just do it with a lightsaber now. This is Contractors. I only picked this game up recently, and holy hell have I been playing a lot of it. Like, you guys know how much I like Pavlov. Well, you probably don't know how much I like Pavlov, but I played Pavlov to death with my buddies. Even on my own, I played Pavlov a lot. But when a couple of my friends ended up getting VR, we kind of went through a lot of the multiplayer games. And I finally ended up picking this Contractors game up and immediately convinced them to buy it. And it's such a good game, dude. This is as good as Pavlov, and in some ways, I actually think it's better. But you know, it's not that, oh, one's better, you should only own one of them. You should own them both. But this game is crazy because you actually, you know, very similar to Pavlov, you have all this stuff on your belt, but you can see your character. You can turn that off if you want. I'm a chunky boy because I have full body armor, because the loadout, this is the thing that I think is the coolest. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have as many weapons as I would like it to, and a lot of the attachments are kind of just copy and paste across them. But basically, you have a certain budget, and that determines how many items you can end up putting. So you can see this body armor costs 4. The gun costs 19 because I have the sight on it. This pistol costs 9 because I have, you know, the suppressor and the doctor sight. So on and so forth. There's lots of really cool things. Like you can even have, this is the Aimpoint T1, which I think, I'm not familiar with guns, but I think the point is we can look at through the bottom here instead of the top. Maybe not. I don't know. There we go. I kind of got to get used to the controls again. But there's a couple different modes that you can end up doing, and generally it feels really good, and the bots are actually way smarter in this game than Pavlov. Let me actually just load into a round so I can show you guys. So there's missions, which kind of is, you know, doing different things in different areas, like capture the flag and what have you. You can do all of these with your friends as well. So you can either do online game matches with randoms, with your mates only. Co-op is online or with your mates only, and you can do it with bots and stuff. So that's kind of the coolest thing. This is the game that I mentioned, similar to Pavlov, has a virtual stock, but I don't like it as much. It also has workshop, so that was surprising to me. I didn't know that it actually had some custom levels, so I thought that was really, really cool. But the gunplay feels really, really good. The only thing that I would say is the lighting. Like, you can see how dark it gets in certain areas, and that kind of sucks. You'll see weapon crates around because in other game modes, when you're not playing single player, you'll actually have a limited amount of ammo in your belt, and you can take out of these and put them on your belt. But that's kind of irrelevant for what we're doing right now. So I don't know, as far as the recording's concerned, are you guys seeing on my left eye or my right eye? Okay, so you're seeing out of my right eye, which is interesting. But it's got like... See, if it was on normal mode, I would have died. But sometimes the bots have like big armor, they like rolling around a lot and stuff, and... They love spawning here, apparently. Oh my god. Dude, seriously, stop. Again? Really? I can literally just stand here the entire time if I want. But this is the game that infamously... I talked about it earlier, but my left joystick kind of, if I tilt it just ever so slightly... Well, my left joystick is kind of dying now. Because of this game. Because it has toggle sprint. I didn't know that I could turn that off, so now obviously I have that off. And similar to Pavlov, as soon as you start aiming down your sights, your character slows down. So you gotta kind of put your gun down in order to sprint, which is great. The virtual stock does make the aiming better. I just can't get as used to it. Like, I kind of like the freedom of being able to move the gun wherever I want. But either way, love this game, dude. And of course, you can see this other guy is outrunning me because he's got lighter armor. And then the lightest armor actually allows you to have 2 primary weapons, which is really, really cool. We did end up playing a game of this against like a random player at one point, and oh my god, they were so good at the game. It was horrifying. We're so bad. Whenever I play these games, if I'm ever against another player, I'm terrible. Like there, I would have been dead, no question.
And lastly, we're going to end where we started. This is VRChat. I'm sorry I'm not actually, standing in the game and talking about it with you guys or anything. I'd rather just use some footage that I already have. VRChat is a social experiment, let's call it. And I would say is probably one of the most popular VR games that there is, because also, on top of the fact that it's a VR social game, you can also play it without being in VR. So earlier in the video, I talked about Rec Room being kind of a social game for VR exclusively, whereas VRChat people can play on mouse and keyboard. And especially during a pandemic too, this game just exploded in terms of getting a social experience and hanging out with other people. The one thing about VRChat is that first and foremost, it is a social game. It's kind of literally called VRChat. Like, it's basically a chat room. But the thing is that it's got custom avatars, and it does have some custom worlds, and very rarely you'll actually find some custom games. So Murder 4 is one of my favorite ones that I'm actually using the footage of in the background right now, where it's kind of like a Among Us imposters type game, but you actually have ways of defending yourself against the murderer kind of thing. They do actually have Among Us in VRChat as well, and that is a lot of fun if you end up having a lot of people. And generally speaking, in VRChat, I've found that the amount of people that I've ran into have been such colorful and fun characters. And I'm not talking about their avatars, I'm just talking about people in general. It's like everybody wants to have a good time. Except for the little kids where clearly their parents are like not home or something, so they're just like swearing and being obnoxious. But for everybody else, it's a really, really good time, and I highly recommend it. It's also free, so play it.